Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So after watching a lot of YouTubers myself, getting a lot of ideas for videos that I want to do, and thinking about XRP quite a bit. The path that Ripple is following in order to make their vision happen, right? We know there's going to be the mass adoption coming down the pipe. We've seen interviews with Brad Garlinghouse, Ashish Birla, so on and so forth, discussing their vision for Ripple's technology, discussing XRP, talking about how that's going to change the future, how we're going to be using XRP to make transfers from fiat to fiat or fiat to crypto. And so guys, it got me thinking, could mass adoption of XRP, so essentially once the mass adoption happens, let's say there hasn't been, okay, so let me go back. If there is no spec market bull run in the meantime, so let's say there's no speculation, there's no Bitcoin speculation that's going to spike the price of Bitcoin in the interim, and all we get essentially is the mass adoption of XRP. So basically it's a win-win for XRP holders because regardless of if it's a spec bull run or a mass adoption bull run for XRP holders particularly, we're still going to see price movement, right? So let's just say, for instance, that the mass adoption happens and there's no bull run leading up to it, or let's just say the market is stagnant, or let's just say, for example, that the XRP mass adoption happens tomorrow. So we're in a flat market right now, right? Here's XRP, and we're in a pretty flat market right now, okay? This is XRP on a daily. So, we're seeing pretty stagnant numbers. Here's Bitcoin as well, right? We're just kind of moving sideways here. And so let's say, for instance, the XRP mass adoption happens, XRP goes live, we see the market capitalization increase, right, for XRP, because the circulating supply will be utilized to transfer funds. We will see more demand for XRP. Holders may choose to release some of their coins, acting as market makers for some of these institutions that want to use XRP. So supply will stay relatively the same, but demand will increase, right? So the price of XRP will in fact go up. We're talking about the price of XRP going up and therefore possibly moving to the top spot. And so once you're in that coveted top spot, right, for market capitalization, because we got to remember, right, the circulating supply times the price equals the market cap. So if we surpass, and I think it's very possible to surpass Bitcoin if this is the case, in the mass adoption scenario, because there's just going to be so much XRP that's going to be used, way more XRP than any other cryptocurrency in existence today, right, if we have the mass adoption happen. So realistically, we could see XRP hit the #1 spot. So guys, just keep following me for a sec here. So my question is, if this mass adoption happens, could this mass adoption of XRP be the catalyst for the next bull run? And the reason I say that is because when you look at the Bitcoin price chart, we always talk about, these charts kind of working, in conjunction with one another, like the trends are the same, right? We saw the bull trend, that's a historical snapshot, but we see the bull trend kind of happen right at the same time for all these coins, and essentially what they're doing is they're following Bitcoin. But there's a caveat to that, because let's just take a look at this Bitcoin chart, okay, on the daily. And so as we see, Bitcoin, started a bull run earlier in 2017. So, we really started seeing Bitcoin start moving up probably around mid-September. Even, you could argue this was kind of the beginning. So let's say, mid-July, we saw a big spike in price for Bitcoin. It dipped a little and then it really continued up. And so like mid-July, so let's say the summer of 2017, we really started seeing Bitcoin. And even, some could argue even before that, like, April, maybe the spring of 2017, because we see this trend, continue to go up. There are some corrections, but obviously, right, it was making new highs. Bitcoin kept going higher. Even the lowers were higher lows, and then it went higher, higher low, and then it went higher. So, the uptrend was kind of spring, summer, let's say, for Bitcoin. That's when we saw the bull run happen for Bitcoin. But when you take a look at these other altcoins, they lagged a little. So, they do follow suit, and they ultimately follow the same chart patterns, guys, as you can see here. But if we can assume that Bitcoin started its bull run around here, look at IOTA, for example, right? IOTA was pretty flat for a while, and then it really didn't uptake until December. Late November, or mid-November, let's say, early December. And then that's when we see we saw IOTA, for example, shoot up. And guys, the same for XRP, right? XRP was stagnant around this period of time, so up until early December, and then it shot up quite a bit by mid-December, and then finally, you know, ended up at all-time high, along with all the other altcoins and Bitcoin around, you know, December, January 2018, December 2017, January 2018. And guys, one more chart here, Litecoin, same thing, right? There was some stagnation period. I mean, sure, there was a little uptick here, but then it kind of retraced, went back to support. And we really didn't see Litecoin take off until the same time around as XRP. So all these altcoins are ultimately, yes, following the same pattern as Bitcoin, but there's a bit of a lag. So we know that this guy, Bitcoin here, is ultimately the indicator, right? And so it's the leader. So once there was an uptick and once, you know, people realized, hey, you know, there's an uptrend for Bitcoin, then they started pouring their money into altcoins later in November, right? Early December. And that's when we saw all these other altcoins spike up roughly around the same time, because there's no news behind Litecoin, or very little, right? There was very little behind IOTA, XRP at that same time period. Bitcoin was the biggest one. Bitcoin was getting all the news, and so Bitcoin was the leader of the pack. And guys, all I'm suggesting is if XRP is able to be utilized in a way where mass adoption is occurring, we see XRP hit the top spot, and maybe that price jump off for XRP will actually create the next tsunami of altcoins to follow. Just a theory, but I want to know what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.